Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm here with another book review for you. I'm going to be talking about Anger is a Gift by Mark Oshiro. This is an advance copy that I was lucky enough to be given, and this book came out on May 22nd through Tor Teen. Actually, it comes out today as I'm filming this, come to think of it. Probably won't be up today, but it comes out today. And I ended up giving this book 5 stars. I thought it was really good. I think other people are probably more qualified to talk about it than I am, but I did want to put it on people's radar. So, Anger is a Gift is a young adult contemporary novel about a gay teen boy living in Oakland dealing with institutionalized racism, and it is a book about protest and resistance, and it's also kind of a coming of age story and a first love story. It's a lot of things tied up into one, and it is stunning, sometimes horrifying, beautifully written, and I think a really important book that I think should be on our radar and should be something that we should be talking about. This is a heart-wrenching book in a lot of ways, a beautiful book in other ways. It's horrifying. I mean, it's so many things. Like, this one gave me so many feelings. And if you've read it, I'm very curious to see what you think. It's something that is sometimes really difficult to read, but I think what really makes it work is the main character, Moss, is such a cinnamon roll. Like, he's such a cinnamon roll. He's so sweet. He's kind of nerdy, a little bit awkward, and, you know, not always completely sure of himself, but just such a wonderful character. But you see him driven to such anger because of the things that he's facing on a daily basis and the things that he's going through. This is definitely a book that might make you uncomfortable, especially if you are white. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it brings up a lot of things that really need to be talked about, like how we handle teenagers in urban schools and how we handle police presence. And there were definitely some pretty extreme things in here and made me want to go and do some research into the way that police do handle peaceful protests in ways that are sometimes quite problematic. I do know this happens. I don't know to what extent and how often, and I'm now curious to find out more about it based on having read this. But I think what makes this work is the characters, because the characters are wonderful and they're diverse and they're all really fleshed out. Even the side characters feel like people, because sometimes what you get is you get like 1 or 2 characters that are pretty fully fleshed out, and then everyone else is just sort of like thrown in and they have a name, but you know, they don't feel like there's more to them. That is really not true here. In Anger is a Gift, he's got a lot of friends, and like, dude, do we have a diverse cast of characters? Like, there are very few white characters in this book. We have gay characters, we have lesbian characters, we have transgender character, we've got a character who's like gender non-binary. There's all kinds of things, but it's not the kind of thing where it feels like it's just thrown in as diversity for diversity's sake. It feels like it makes sense that these group of friends would have been drawn together. They feel like people that are really fleshed out and have more complex lives, and even though we get hints at these side characters and we don't get a lot of time spent with them, I feel like, you know, I could imagine them having their own books. I could imagine them having their own stories. Like, you can tell there's a lot under the surface there, even though maybe it doesn't get fully discussed in this book. Also, like, it's just so cute, like the interactions between Moss and he's got this kind of very new burgeoning relationship with this boy named Javier, and it's so good and it's very sweet, but there's also things that are kind of thrown in here that I think are important, like this discussion of like fetishizing dating a person of color, not because you're actually into them, but because you like the idea of having that experience and how that sometimes happens. And anyway, there's a lot in here. There's a lot to unpack. I may not be the ideal person to do that because I don't fall into a lot of the communities that are discussed here, but I do feel like it's a very powerful book. It's an intense book. It will leave a mark and get you thinking and get you talking, and I think it's something that should be on people's radar, and I would definitely be interested to hear more from other people in some of these communities that are represented. It's good. I don't want to say too much more about it. I don't want to spoil the story, but just go read it. And expect that depending on who you are, you may be uncomfortable with parts of it, but just go with it and see where it takes you. I am still not sure what to do with all of what's in it, but I think this is a really important book. So that is Anger is a Gift by Mark Oshiro. Like I said, I did give this one 5 stars. Go read it. Talk to me in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. I'm very interested to hear people talk about this one. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.